The show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen. Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Man, my voice is a wreck. Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I want to start out by saying I really, really apologize for the last couple of days. Thursday and Friday, I was not on. You guys got to realize with this new job and stuff, I got a lot of stuff going on. And then Friday, I had to take a me day. I had to take a day because I had to do something for myself. And it's none of anybody's business, but I went out and did something that made me happy. And then I worked at my new job and stuff. And I just wanted to take the day off. But I've been dealing with these allergies. These allergies have been horrendous. And I know that I'm sounding like an old man, even though I just turned 40. That's an inside joke to my producer, Vulture. No, I'm 42. And for the longest time when I turned 40, I did not want to tell people that. I did not want to tell, oh, I'm 40. But now that I'm all in it, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go for it. But these allergies, I never, ever had allergy problems here in Florida. Got Bubba Light. What up, Bubba Light? Were you in Tampa this weekend? Because I was in Tampa as well this weekend. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I wish because when I got back, I saw, because I wasn't checking Facebook and stuff, and I think you might have been in Florida. Steve Gore, and there was the 4-planet alignment. Trust me being the space nerd that I am, I love it. I love all that stuff. Man, Bubba Light, next time you're going to be in Florida around Tampa area, let me know, man. I'm not saying anything bad about the BRN or anything. I just think you're a good dude. And I would love to just hang out with you away from everything. Just a chance to be able to chat with you and stuff. Because we've talked on the phone and stuff, and I think we've had some pretty good conversations and everything. So let me know. I know that, you're a Playboy millionaire and stuff well, maybe not Playboy millionaire and stuff, but I know that you come down here for a reason and stuff, but it would be cool to talk to you. But these allergies have been absolutely killing me. And this happens to me. If you guys have been listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast, for when I was doing it at the Hobo Fish Camp out of my car, I started this thing in 2020. If you go back and listen to around June, January, February, March, April, May. If you listen to around May, June, July, you would understand, and you would see that every single year around this time, I have the throat issues. Last year, what up, Nedley? Nelly Mandingo, how are you, my friend? I apologize. I haven't been doing the show, Nelly Mandingo. And I do take it personally. Like, when I don't do a show, I actually feel like I'm letting everybody down. Seriously, I really, really do. Fish on Jay. You know, I'm glad that Fish on Jay is here. Good times at the Hobo Fish Camp. Fish on Jay has been out to the Hobo Fish Camp numerous times when the weather has been great. The weather has been horrible. I remember times where me and Fish on Jay were just sitting under the fifth wheel overhang eating sandwiches that my mom made as the Coast Guard was running people down on the river. And Iggy, I appreciate that, Iggy. Iggy says everyone needs a break, Tuddle. You know, Iggy is such a great person. And if I'm being honest, I would love to interview her husband. How did he land? And I'm not saying anything bad about Iggy's husband, but because I'm always interested, because I've had a horrible dating since my marriage ended. I've had a horrible dating resume. And I'm always interested in finding out how guys outkick their coverage. And maybe I'm off basis by saying that Iggy's husband outkicked his coverage. I don't even know what he looks like, if I'm being honest. I just automatically assume that he outkicked his coverage with her. And no, if anybody wants to come and say that, oh, Tuddle's trying to throw game. No, I talk to Iggy every once in a while, and I've never ever been a creep or anything like that. But I will say she is an amazing woman. And I would love to interview her husband. How, for him to be able to land Iggy T, how does that happen? I would love to be able to interview him, but I'm sure it won't happen. So I didn't do the show Thursday and Friday. I've been just dealing with these allergies and everything. And I forget about this every year. I don't understand why I do not be preemptive on everything. I need to do this year round because I stay away from sugars and stuff. But the thing that helps me out with my allergies more than anything is eating local honey. Because all the pollen or whatever I'm seeing or sniffing or breathing in, me just eating local honey. And a lot of, well, why would local honey help you out? Well, I'll tell you. What up? The Jolly Gator is checking in. How are you, my friend? The Jolly Gator says, good evening, sir. And if you guys want to, and you can help out the cause. Sorry, I know that. Once again, still dealing with the allergies and stuff. If you want to help out, donate to the cause, you can easily do that. You can super chat or you can cheer bits. Wherever you're listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast, you can easily do that. But the thing that has helped me out, I ended up getting this tea. It's made out of local honey. Since I got back from Tampa, I've been drinking that. And I got to tell you, I woke up today and I really did not have any problems. I had a little bit of, congestion in my nose and stuff, but I was able to get it out. And I know that my throat, my voice still sounds rough. Matter of fact, when I have these problems, my voice actually sounds more rugged, but I just can't overdo it. I just can't. I just can't. Steve Gore says, I have a teaspoon every day. You're right. Is that local honey, Steve Gore? And the Jolly Gator says, real local honey is the shit. And a lot of people are like, oh, why is it got to be local honey? Well, because the bees that are pollinating everything that you're allergic to, if you get the local honey, because I was on the other side of the state of Florida. I was in Tampa over the weekend. Like I said, I'll get into that. But I could have got the honey over there, but who knows if it would have been different than what I could get over here in Volusia County. So I was able to get some of that. And within 24 hours, it was so much better. I'm still dealing with some of the throat issues and stuff. But if any of you guys are having allergy problems, just eat local honey. Nedley Mandingo writes, do you have that friend or relative that always try to make their voice sound deep and rugged when they answer the phone? I know that's what I sound like. I know that it is most likely what I sound like. But I can't get too high, because I get too high, it hurts my throat. So I need to stay right in this range. If you guys want to give me a call, you can easily do that. 407-270-3044. Once again, that is 407-270-3044. I do have some voicemails, I think. Hold on. Oh, see, none of these are ever really long. Hold on. Let me see what this one has to say. Nope, nothing. What about this one? This one's 3 minutes. I don't know if this is one. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Tuddle. This is B. Fudd.
Oh, my God. I swear to God, people, I did not plan this. But B. Fudd left me a voicemail. Holy crap. Hold on. Why can I not back this up? Come on.
Okay. You see, Supreme Court.
Okay, so if you guys do not know who B. Fudd is a guy from the Seattle, Spokane, Washington area that was on the Bubba the Love Sponge show. He has a speech impediment. Everybody says he was a 62 IQ. I no. B. Fudd is smart. B. Fudd is smart as hell. And I know that I have busted his balls and stuff, but B. Fudd is smart.
Over was virtual raid. And I think they got like 11 states. You can't have no birth pill and nothing like.
He meant birth control pill. I'm just trying to translate.
Utah, Idaho, South Dakota, and a couple more.
I do not know. Damn it. Hold on.
Okay, now here is a next fight. What the GOP stand for, Grand Old Repeal Party.
All right. So, Grand Old Republican Party. I know what he was trying to say there. Hold on. I'm texting him right now. I wish he could call in. Hold on.
They are going to go and gay Murray.
He said they're going to go after gay marriage.
Man and wife only.
Man and wife only.
Anyone who got married.
Get anyone that gets married.
Like gay people.
Gay people.
We will outlaw it.
Outlaw it.
That would be the next fight right there.
And I agree. I agree with B-Fud. You know for a fact that these politicians, and I don't want anybody to think that I am a liberal. I'm not. I despise, I fucking hate any of these politicians. They don't care about us. They're bought, paid for by the rich and elite. And I know that I'm copying, because that's the other brilliant thing. I love that George Carlin was trending all weekend long on social media, because say what you want, a lot of people might not even know who George Carlin is, but George Carlin was ahead of his time, and everything he's saying is coming to fruition. It is. Nedley, you're right. Nedley said Hatley would translate what B-Fud was saying the best. I got Servap, the sexy camel sing, says, hello, brother. And then he also says, I'm a good friend of Jake Hudson. Hey, Servap, I mean, if you want to call into the show, you can easily, I would love to talk to you. 407-270-3044. But if you can wait until I'm done with the B-Fud voicemail, I really would love to chat with you.
We will want it. And we have 3 more stuff we are planning to do. We will get some good laws on the book.
See, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what is B-Fud behind. Does he support all of this? I just do not know. I did text him. I would love for him to come on the show, and I'm going to send his number and email to Vulture, my producer, because I would love to have B-Fud on and kind of just go through this. I want to get his thoughts on this whole entire situation that we're going through here in the United States.
But I will tell you this. Regular people can, like Wars versus Wade.
I'm not even going to try.
Okay, they still can have abortion. They actually kick it back to the state. You have to set up a senatorial bio.
Okay, so let's just look at this for a moment, okay? I think B-Fud knows more about politics than the average American. I live with B-Fud for almost a year. He is he is smarter than what people think. And what's sad is I see a lot of these people, these talking heads that are on one side of the aisle or the other, the people that support or against, even if they're pro-life or pro-choice. I think B. Fudd might know more about it than some people. Because B. Fudd, everybody thinks he has a 62 IQ, but I know B. Fudd knows more than the average American. I'm just throwing it out there.
You get one side vote or one side names on it or two hands bio. You guys can put it on the bio and people actually can vote for.
When he says ballot, that is ballot. The Jolly Gator writes, man, if you live spring life and ocean life, man, nothing matters. Nelly Mandingo writes, why should B. Fudd get more money than Wendy from the government? Because, once again, B. Fudd know how to work it. Shannon Burkett. You know what? If I'm being honest, any of you guys that I used to think, oh, B. Fudd is taking advantage of the system. You know what? The system does not work for us. And I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck it. Fuck the system. If you can get any amount of money out of them, go for it. Do you guys realize the Catholic Church got millions of dollars in bailouts from the government during the pandemic? And do you realize what churches don't do? Churches do not pay taxes. So if the Catholic Church can get a lot of bailout money from the United States government, guess what? Good for them. Good for them and good for B. Fudd if he can get it. You know what? I'll back up. No, not good for the religious people that get bailed out. Fuck them. You don't pay taxes. You don't pay taxes at all. So you know what? You don't deserve any of the money. And if the Catholic Church can get bailout money from the United States government, then I really don't care what B. Fudd gets.
What state can have abortion or abortion free? But here is the good one right here.
I can't wait for this.
Oh, now the mother and father have to tell the kids this. If you don't want no baby, keep your damn leg closed. Oh, white? That is a pretty good.
All right. B. Fudd ran out of time there. Keep in mind, B. Fudd, 62 IQ. So don't hold it against him. You guys all know that I'm a nerd when it comes to space. And I'm thinking about adding this soundbite. I didn't pull the audio itself. I didn't pull the... All right, there it is. All right, so NASA. I'm a big NASA mark. I love NASA. I love everything space. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Tuddle, it's a waste of money. We could be spending all types of other stuff. No, I love space. Space is great. I mean, we're all just living on a rock revolving around the sun, and that sun is revolving around a black hole at the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. So, you know what? Let's get out there and kind of explore, even though it really in the grand scheme of things, we're never going to be able to, because space is just too vast. But NASA launched their first rocket from Australia. And you know how the guy is always like gives the countdown and stuff? I thought this was the best, and I think that this guy needs to be the official NASA countdowner. I know that doesn't make sense, but listen to this guy. And I'm thinking about adding this to the opening. I don't know if I should put it at the beginning of the show opening or put it right before I talk, but listen to this guy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah! 5.
I'm sorry. Listen to this guy. This guy is a complete like hype man. Listen to him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
I think I need this sound clip, and you know that this is going to be heard everywhere on TikTok. This clip.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
That guy put this rocket over. This guy put this rocket over like when Stone Cold Steve Austin gave The Rock the stunner at one of the WrestleManias. Like he's just flipping and flopping after the stunner. This guy gets me fired up about science.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
Do you realize how many more kids would be watching space launches if this dude was the hype man for rockets?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah! I got to figure out how I can add this to my show open. Should it be at the beginning, like after I play that video opening and stuff? Should it go, and then
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
And then the produced piece that Josh Kale did for me with all the no wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate. Should this come after that? After Kevin Costner saying, no wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
And I'm not saying that this is going to be a permanent thing to the show open. If you've been listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast for any amount of time, you know that I add little things here and there to it. But I think that this guy is just so hyped. Why wouldn't I want him right before I talk? Everybody would be hyped as fuck for the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah!
I know I overdid it on that. I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on that. I do have some news stories that I want to get into. It's crazy what people just get killed over.
In a deadly overnight shooting, somebody shot and
I
killed a
worked
woman.
with Bubba, and there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying Bubba would kill anybody over a condiment. If you're in the chat room right now, I would like to hear from you, or if you would like to call in, 407-270-3044, or once again, 407-270-3044. Up in Atlanta, I love Atlanta. I know a lot of people hate Atlanta, but Atlanta is one of my favorite big cities. I love the Braves. I used to go up to downtown Orlando for the second biggest sci-fi comic book convention, Dragon Con. But somebody up in the Atlanta area that worked at Subway got killed, got murdered because she put too much mayonnaise on a sub. I mean, Fish on Jay is right. Fish on Jay said, Bubba will kill you if you bring mustard into any place. See, mustard is just one of those things. I feel like my computer is kind of freezing up a little bit, and I want to make sure that the audio still sounding fine, guys. If you could let me know, that would be great. But you always have to be careful if you go into. I love Iggy. Mustard is one of my favorite condiments. And if I'm being honest, guess what? Mustard, no calories. Regular mustard has no calories. But if you're going to go to a Subway, and I think that the Subway is attached to this gas station. You look, growing up in the South, you always got to be careful when you go into a food establishment that is a part of a gas station. But man, this is just really, really sad.
Police provide a major update in a deadly overnight shooting. Somebody shot and killed a woman who, according to police, had put too much mayonnaise on a sandwich. This happened.
All right. Did you guys, this is America. This is America. People are getting murked. People are just becoming dead over a condiment. What the fuck are we doing?
At a Subway on Northside Drive. CBS 46's Tori Cooper is joining us live right now. She's at that Subway restaurant. Really unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right. I don't even know how to say your name. Guvir Dinshaw. I mean, we get it. I'm pretty sure this happened over the weekend. So this is most likely the B team that is reporting on this, but we don't need you repeating the same word just to put the emphasis on how bad it is. We know that it's bad that somebody got killed over too much mayonnaise. Jesus.
Gravier, and this story continues.
Givier? Okay. Sorry, Givier.
To develop. The Atlanta Police Department just confirmed with us they have made an arrest in this shooting that took place here at the Subway along Northside Drive around 6 p.m. last night. They say a community member tip led them to the suspect.
The gun violence here in Atlanta is at an outrage.
That's Gerald Rose, the leader of the new.
You know, Atlanta gets a bad name. I used to go up there all the time. And a lot of people, oh, if you're white, you can't be in Atlanta. No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you. I think Fish on Jay's trying to attribute the reporter. That's all I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of people say, oh, if you're white, you can't hang out in Atlanta at night. No, I will fight you on that. I have felt nothing but safe in Atlanta, but just like any other big city, there's some bad areas. Of course, there's always going to be bad areas, no matter where you go. But I have felt safer in Atlanta than Orlando. Let me see what Iggy has to say. Iggy T says, in Canada, both the customers and Subway employee would apologize profusely about the Mayo situation. I'm sorry. There is too much mayo. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. That's not how we roll in America. In America, we pull out our gun and we just start firing at people over too much mayonnaise.
New Order National Human Rights Organization.
I'm asking all young people to put down the pistols, pick up the pencils.
Rose.
I mean, that's a badass saying. Put down the pistols, pick up the pencils. I mean, you can kill people with pencils, just saying. Not as easy as pistols, but pistols. You know, when I was in a hospital, they gave us pencils, but they were only that long. They were only that long. I mean, you could still probably stab somebody with it, but not as easy. You couldn't get any force onto a pencil that's that long.
Spoke out Monday about the ongoing senseless violence happening in Metro Atlanta after Atlanta police say a Subway employee was shot to death over a sandwich.
Believe it or not, it was over too much mayonnaise on his.
I love accents. This is not a black or white thing, people. I just love regional accents because there's a lot of white people. I think the Boston, heavy, thick Boston accent by Caucasians is hilarious. But listen to how he says mayonnaise.
Believe it or not, it was over too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. And so
this guy is cool as hell. He is one of the co-owners at this Subway.
So he decided to escalate the situation.
Willie Glenn is the co-owner of the Subway on Northside Drive.
I love the work for Willie. Willie seems pretty goddamn cool.
He says to take a life over a sandwich is unfathomable.
I don't know what the world is coming to.
Whoa. I know I butcher words sometimes, but how did this reporter say I can't even say it. Unfathomable?
Unfathomable.
I don't know
Unfathomable?
What the world is coming to, especially with our youth. They just seem to be so hot-headed these days. Everybody wants to carry a gun. Everybody wants to scare somebody with a gun. It's just...
And you know what? I think it's cool as hell that a lot of these black leaders or black business owners are trying to make a difference. I mean, this guy Willie seems like a cool-ass guy.
It's scary out here.
He says the customer shot two of his employees. One of them died, and the other is now in the hospital.
Really? I mean, that right there should be a prime example of why you should live every single day to the fullest. It's also, I could almost guarantee you that the employee that died in this Subway was a religious person. Probably went to church every single weekend, tithed, gave money to the collection plate. And this poor person died at a gas station Subway over mayonnaise. I just, look, if you're religious, I don't ever look down on you. I'm never going to do that. If religion makes you a better person, then I'm happy for you. Even if I've always been the type, you do you and I'll do me. And I'm not going to judge you for what you believe in. I'm just not that type of person. But man, oh man. How does anybody believe in God when somebody dies over mayonnaise at a gas station Subway?
He says the manager on duty, who was armed with a gun of his own, attempted to stop the shooter.
All right, so I'm glad Steve Gore just put that up. And the employee should be armed as a deterrent. Well, guess what? The manager had a gun. Legally had a gun, had a concealed carry permit. People still died. And guess what? I've already seen this story. I don't think the guy hit any part of this assailant's body parts.
The manager was able to exchange gunfire with him, but of course, you know, he didn't hit him. It kind of ended up as a wild shootout here in the parking lot.
Glenn says the gun violence in Metro Atlanta is getting out of control.
There's just a whole lot of shooting and killing going on, and this was just ridiculous. My heart right now is with my employees.
Back live now, you can see one of the employees is still in the subway cleaning up what happened last night. You can see the window is also boarded up. Now, the Atlanta Police Department also just provided some additional information into who these victims were who were inside the subway. The Atlanta Police Department.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. Fish on Jay. Tribute.
Tells us the victim who was shot and killed was a 26-year-old woman, and the other employee was a...
Atomic Shaman says, that must be some good mayo. I mean, was it Miracle Whip or was it like mayonnaise? Because there is a big difference between Miracle Whip and mayonnaise. Can't beat mayonnaise. Matter of fact, my mom used to make homemade mayonnaise, and it's pretty damn good. I don't think people realize how simple mayonnaise is. It's so easy to make. Anybody can make mayonnaise.
24-year-old woman who had her 5-year-old child inside at the time. Now, the victim who did survive, who is in the hospital, police tell us right now she is in critical condition. Police were very tight-lipped about the other details pertaining to the suspect, but again, they really mentioned how this really was a community tip that led them to the suspect, and they are planning on releasing more details later on. We're going to continue to follow this.
She seems like she's out of breath. Listen to her.
We'll share the very latest with you right here. Reporting live here in Northwest Atlanta, I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.
Wow.
What up, Tori? So that was that story. Now, there's, speaking of fast food, you know, a lot of people do not appreciate grandmothers as much as they should. Grandmothers are
stuff for her and her two grand.
This grandmother ordered a pizza for her and her grandchildren. The grandmother, and listen, when we're little kids and everything, we're like, oh, we got to go to grandmothers and stuff. Grandmothers will lay their life on the line for their kids or their grandkids. Matter of fact, see, I don't have any kids, but what is it about grandmothers loving their grandkids more than they love their own kids? But this grandmother ordered pizza for her and her grandkids because they were staying over. And when the pizza delivery driver came to deliver the pizza, this dude got shot. Sorry. I ate before this and I'm kind of regurgitating food. Sorry. But this guy got shot. The pizza delivery driver got shot at the front door of this grandmother's home. And she was a saint.
So the grandmother ordered pizza for her and her two grandchildren, but when she opened the door to pick up that
Yeah, what up, Christina Mendez? What up, Christina?
delivery, she was met with this, a situation she calls just simply being in the right place at the right time.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you have rather this not happened at all? Right place, right time. I can see it.
I looked outside, I saw the pizza.
Hold on,
box.
I don't want to like do her dirty. I'm just trying to get her in a good light there. This looks like a kick-ass grandmother.
I opened the door to get the food, and there's a young man out here jumping around. I asked him if he was okay, and he said, "Ma'am, can you help me? I've just been shot."
Okay, so I've always been, and I've always had the opinion, do not get involved. Only worry about yourself and your family and your loved ones and your friends. But if it's a total stranger, just don't get involved. Do not get involved. And this kind grandmother help this guy out, man.
Okay, and he said, "Ma'am, can you help me? I've just been shot."
Karen Rollins didn't think twice about saying yes to the man who just delivered dinner.
Call the police, call the police. I'm bleeding out.
Oh, by the way, the Ring doorbell is the greatest thing that is like happened to content creators trying to find stuff to post. Man, oh man. Also, Fish on Jay's in here, the dash cam. Dash cam video cameras on truck drivers or anybody that's driving, Ring doorbells. There's cameras everywhere. I don't understand how anybody gets away from any crime, because there are cameras everywhere. How could you ever expect to get away with anything?
Saying yes to the man who just delivered dinner.
Call the police, call the police. I'm bleeding out bad.
Harford County Sheriff's Office says Malik Burns followed the pizza delivery driver to this complex on Ellsworth Place Saturday. The 24-year-old victim was then shot several times. Investigators say the two got into a fight earlier that day in the restaurant parking lot.
He kept saying, I'm dying, I'm dying. Like, no, I don't think you're dying.
Wow. And you know, a lot of people want to talk about all the racism and stuff that is in this country. This is the older generation. She could have just never opened up the door. She could have let this guy bleed out. I would hope that she would at least call 911, but she did. She did it. And look, the country is not in a good place right now, but we need stories like this. I'm sorry.
Which I was hoping he wasn't.
On the phone with 911, Rollins was being guided on how to make a tourniquet while waiting for first responders. The victim was then taken from the delivery address to shock trauma by helicopter.
He's coming over to see me when he feels better. Because when he was leaving yesterday on the stretcher, he said, "I'm sorry about all the blood." And I'm like, that's...
Wow. The dude got shot. The pizza delivery driver got shot, and he's apologizing for all the blood.
It's okay. It's okay. So he had a thumbs up when he left and before he got in the helicopter. So it was all good.
While the victim is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries, Rollins says his mother stopped by her house Sunday, thanking her for helping.
I never expected that. I mean, I told her, I said, "Don't cry," and I won't cry. But she was crying, so I got a little emotional because, you know, as a mother, I know I would want somebody to do the same for me.
I mean, how cool is that? Like, seriously, that, you know, the media wants to, like, play stories about how divided we are racially. We need stories like this. We just need stories like this. The pizza delivery driver that this woman saved, his mother came and thanked her. So, yeah, things are bad in this country right now, but it's not as bad as we think. It's all about the regular people, the working class. I think what's going on more than anything is not racial divide. I think it's class divide. It's the rich versus the working class people, the blue collar. And I think that's where the divide is. It really, really is, people. I mean, Steve Gore writes, God bless her. She's awesome. Iggy T writes, I need to try it. It does look good. I just never think of Wendy's when I go to breakfast. Iggy, the last time I had Wendy's breakfast was really, really good, and actually had it with Fish on J when we went out to surf fish. We stopped at Wendy's. Now, I will say the service was very subpar, but I like the bread that they serve their breakfast sandwiches on. And I really do not eat processed foods or fast foods at all anymore. But it was, I enjoyed it. Pretty Birds, right? Wendy's breakfast is not good. I don't know. I liked it. Service was definitely subpar.
Burns is facing several charges, including attempted murder. He's now being held in a detention center without bond. I'm reporting live from Harford County tonight. I'm Christina Mendez for WJZ.
All right, guys. Oh, Tom Delaney coming in with 99 cents on the deal. Helping out. Tom Delaney says, F Vulture. Pretty Birds writes, you know what, maybe. I'm thinking of Burger King, to be honest. I haven't had any fast food in 3 years. Just trying to see if I have, hold on, let me see if this story is short. Because I don't think a lot of people are thinking about this. And I know that, you know, even if it's not short, I'm still gonna play it. I think it is. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, no, it isn't. You know what? I'm going to play this one. This is for the ladies. It is. You know, we had the baby food shortage.
Formula to sriracha. There have been plenty of product shortages lately. Now we can add a new one to the list. Tampons, along with
Okay.
other feminine products.
A lot of people don't think about this. Now, I know it's an inconvenience. It really, really is. I mean, the women need tampons. They need pads. Do women wear pads at all still? I know when I was married, my ex, she wore pads. But do women still wear pads, or is it just mostly tampons?
CBS 8's Shannon Handy went to stores today to
Shannon Handy.
check on the local supply. She shows us what she found and explains what's causing this latest shortage.
All the stores I visited today did have tampons in stock, but depending on the brand, certain shelves were completely empty. It's something women have been complaining about for weeks on social media, and finally, manufacturers are admitting there's a nationwide shortage.
All right, so this is not me trying to be shock jock, but what do women do? Because I really, really don't know. This is not something I talked about with my mom and stuff, but do women always carry an emergency kit of tampons? Or if you, because here, I'll give you an example. A dude, say you're working on the job site and you go in the porta potty and you do number 2 and you don't look if they have toilet paper or anything, you'll use your sock and stuff. Is there anything comparable to that? And I'm sorry, Iggy. I think you might be the only female that's watching right now. But is there like the go-to thing you can use in case of an emergency if you get your visitor? Oh, toilet paper. Iggy says toilet paper. I can see that, but man, I don't know how you ladies deal with that. I swear to God, it would drive me crazy.
A lot less product in here. Some are calling it the shortage no one is talking about. Tampons as well as menstrual pads are in short supply.
All right, let's head into Target, see what their supply's like.
We saw the problem firsthand while visiting several local stores.
We still have product, but you can see some of the shelves are empty here.
Online, people all over the country are posting about it. One woman tweeted, "Now there's a tampon shortage. We can't have anything." This Reddit post
Yeah, and this story was before the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Ladies, I feel bad for you. Seriously, I really, really do. We now you don't get a pro-choice support, and now we don't have tampons. Like, I feel bad for you, ladies. I really, really do.
It's back to April when another woman complained about the same issue. So what's causing it? We asked industry expert Mona Powell.
There's a few things that's happening in the industry. There's higher demand. There's a shortage in cotton, right? That's due to some drought issues in India.
Oh, well, I didn't even think about that. Cotton. Whew. I remember when I was a little kid and I found a box of my mom's tampons. I thought it was cool how they absorbed water. Like they would absorb water, and then I would throw them up against the wall. My dad beat the ever living piss out of me because I wasted a whole box of my mom's tampons because I soaked them in water and I knew that they would stick up against walls. What boy, pre-teen boy, if they figured out that tampons soaked up water and if you throw them up against walls, they would stick? Yeah, I did it. I did it. I didn't know any better. And yeah, I got an ass beating.
China and in the U.S.
There's also a plastic shortage, lack of labor, and transportation bottlenecks. Powell is the founder and CEO of DotStash, a San Diego-based company that provides feminine products on school campuses. She says while plant-based tampons and pads have been in short supply for at least a year, this latest shortage is impacting standard brands more girls and women are used to having in stock. Just last week, the manufacturer she works with told her to order early.
They've said that those lead
Aren't we supposed to be living in the greatest country in the world? I really don't think we are. Like I'm getting to the point. I don't think we live in the greatest country in the world. Well, like we are having third world problems. Tampons, baby formula. Like, what the fuck is going on? And we're like, this is crazy.
Times have gone from 4 weeks to essentially September. So that's like 4 months away.
This tampon shortage has sparked some online jokes, but Powell says it's a serious issue, especially as it relates to equity.
Feminine hygiene products, menstrual care products are a necessity. We need it to be able to go to work, to school, just to function.
Manufacturers have said they're working to produce more product. In the meantime, be aware of price gouging and keep in.
All right, so I do know a little bit about this. You would think that if there is a tampon shortage, women, just like anybody, poor people, they will stretch things. They will, and no pun intended by the word stretching things. But what I'm trying to say is that isn't there something called toxic shock syndrome? That if you leave a tampon in for too long, that it could be like dangerous or unhealthy. Like, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, is toxic shock syndrome a real thing? I don't know if I've made it up or whatever, but I've always heard like women can get sick from leaving a tampon in for too long. Once again, this is not me trying to be a shock jock. I'm really, really interested.
Mind there are alternatives to pads and tampons. As for Powell, she isn't a product right now, but worries what will happen come August when AB 367 goes into effect, a California state law that requires all public schools, grades 6 and up, as well as community colleges and universities to provide menstrual.
I mean, Iggy, she said, I do. LOL. You're correct, Tuddle. I don't even know what toxic shock syndrome is, but I heard it's not good.
For free.
With AB 367, the demand is going to be higher.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Shannon Handy. Handy. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. My voice is starting to kind of go a little bit, but I want to thank everybody that joined me tonight. Make sure you follow me on all social media. Just search Tuddle, Tuddle. You can email me, Tuddle@gmail.com. You can leave me a voicemail, 407-270-3044. If you're listening to the audio version of the Tuddle Daily Podcast, you can catch it live every single night, 7 p.m. Just go to those social media accounts that I just told you about, and you can find it. I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody that listened tonight. I want to thank everybody for the support. Hope you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.